Shalom, shalom, Israel. First off, giving all praises to the Most High and to His Son Yahweh Shah. Today's class is spiritual or physical Israelite. Because like we were talking with the brothers before class, a lot of times we hear people that come up to us when they know that this truth is not for them, mainly the other nations, and say that that they are a spiritual Israelite and they can get into the kingdom just by being that. But we gonna touch on a few things and see if it's talking about a spiritual Israelite or the blood descendants of the Israelites. That's what today's class is. First off, when we read the Bible, we hear words like house, father, generation, pedigree, race, all these things in the Bible. And guess what they mean? They mean a nation of people, an ethnic group of people with common aims and beliefs. So when you read that, don't just read over there. Guess what? That's talking to a particular group of people. And probably the chapter before, they let you know God always identifies, hey, I'm talking to my people. My people. It's constantly throughout the scriptures. First off, give me Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 5. Because a lot of times when they doing it, guess what they doing? They add to the word. The Most High told us not to do that. Read that for me out. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Officer Yard. Book of Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 5. Brothers and sisters, follow along. Write these precepts down, man. You can never go over precepts enough. Each time you go over, you might see something new in a precept. So make sure you're taking notes, man, writing it down. Don't just believe what we saying. Go back and study for yourself. Like I said, we have to study to show ourselves approved unto God. That's right. So you got to study. Study. Go ahead.
The book of Proverbs chapter 30, verse 5. Every word of God is pure.
Every word of this Bible is pure, people. We don't know.
He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him.
Read that last part again.
He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him.
That shield is going into protection. When we keep in God's laws, we have a hedge of protection amongst us. So that's why we tell brothers and sisters to keep the commandments. When you keep the commandments, guess what? You can walk around and be protected by the holy angels, man. Read on now.
Verse 6. Add thou not unto his word.
Read that again.
Add thou not unto his word.
So when we hear a lot of Christian apologetics and Christianities, guess what? They add into the word by saying that you can be a spiritual Israelite. That's nowhere in the scriptures, man. Even when you Google it, spiritual Israelite, nothing comes up, man. Read that again.
Verse 6. Add thou not unto his word.
So we shouldn't add to the Most High God's words. If it's not in there, guess what? It's not in there for a reason. We just have to read what the scriptures say, and guess what? Believe it. You have to keep the commandments first, then you have to read the Bible a certain way to get the understanding. Read on now.
Lest he reprove thee.
Lest he what?
Lest he reprove thee.
Lest he correct thee for going against his statutes and his commandments. Because guess what? That is a sin to add up to the Most High God's words, man. The Most High God don't need no one else's help to put this Bible together. He knows what he is doing.
That's right.
Read on now.
And thou be found a liar.
And thou be what?
And thou be found a liar.
That last part is heavy because when they saying that they can be a spiritual Israelite, guess what? They are found out to be liars because it's nowhere in the scriptures, man. He is talking to the blood descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob through a specific lineage. All that goes into a nation of people. So that's first and foremost. You got some up?
Oh, yeah.
Give me Leviticus 26 and 45.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 45. But I will for their sakes remember the covenant.
The covenant means an agreement. Read on.
But I will for their sakes remember the covenant of their ancestors.
Of their who?
Of their ancestors.
Your ancestors goes into the people that you descend from. So this is a specific lineage who God is addressing. Guess what? The covenant was only given to the Israelites, man.
Right.
It wasn't given to every nation, kindreds, and tongues. That's first and foremost. This all the way in the beginning, the first 5 books of Moses. Read on up.
Whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt.
Who he brought forth out of the land of Egypt. Then guess what? It even gets more specific. Guess what? A mixed multitude came out with us, but every time he called the congregation, he was only calling the children of Israel people. Only, man. He always separated us and made a difference. Read on up.
Whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt, in the sight of the heathen.
In the sight of the who?
In the sight of the heathen.
In the sight of the Egyptians. Heathen goes into any nation outside of the nation of Israel. Read on up.
That I might be their God.
That I might be everybody's God.
That I might be their God.
So this is the beginning when he was giving us the covenant that he was going to be our God and our God only, man. We bring this out a number of times. Matter of fact, let's sidebar. Give me Amos 3:1, man. Let's get a couple precepts that's showing that. You know, everybody did not get the covenant. Everybody is not God's chosen people. And that's the thing a lot of times people struggle with. Just because he made everybody, he made them, guess what? That don't make them his people. God chooses who he wants and chooses who he don't want.
That's right. The book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
Oh, who?
O children of Israel.
O children of Israel, being specific. Read on now.
Against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
Because he brought up the whole family out of the land of Egypt. Read on now.
Saying, you only have I known.
No, God knows everybody.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you.
Therefore, he would do what?
Therefore, I will punish you.
Therefore, he will punish us. Read on now.
For all your iniquity.
For all our iniquity. Iniquity means sin. So guess what? We was the only one that was given the commandments. We the only one, therefore, that can sin.
And the thing is, when people, like I said, when you reading these precepts, man, start looking at these precepts in a spiritual eye. When you're not looking at the precept in a spiritual eye, a lot of things when you read it go over your head, man. So like when I read in verse 1, it said, hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel. And the next part, it said against the whole family. So that means all 12 tribes, the northern and the southern kingdom. So he, in this point, he's not leaving out nobody out of the children of Israel. But see, when people read it, most people read it, and they read on past the whole situation.
They do.
And he's specific in every word that he say. It's no in between what he say. No, it's specific, man. He's telling you direct when you read. So you got to look at it in a spiritual eyesight, so you can decipher what's a allegory or if it's a similitude. See, a lot of people can't catch those things because they not reading in the spiritual eyesight.
Exactly.
Mindset.
And guess what? To be in the spiritual eyesight, like Ak is bringing now, guess what? You got to be keeping the commandments. First of all, you got to be of the nation of Israel.
That's right.
That's first and foremost. Then you have to be keeping the commandments, because that's another misthought, if that even is a word there. Guess what? You can understand the Bible without keeping the commandments. You cannot do that. TD snakes, they don't know what the hell they are talking about. Guess what? Because they not keeping God's laws. They know that they Israelites, but guess what? They not keeping God's laws. Therefore, they do not have the correct understanding of the Bible. They are not interpreting the scriptures right. Give me another one in the New Testament, because they, you know what they say, they love to, you're always in the old. Give me one. What is that? First Peter's 2:9.
The book of First Peter, chapter 2, verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation.
We are a chosen generation. That's going into the Israelites. Read on.
A royal priesthood.
A royal priesthood. Read on.
And holy nation.
Wait a minute. A what?
And holy nation.
The word holy means separate. We separate from all other nations. God took us and separated us from everyone. Read on up.
A peculiar people.
A peculiar people. Read on.
That ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
Into his what?
Into his marvelous light.
Guess what? We are a chosen generation of people, man. We are the Israelites. That's who the Bible, that's who we are, that's who we be.
And see, the thing is, just like, man, I say, when you read these verses, man, we asked now the people, man, just start reading the verses in the spiritual mindset. That's the reason why I said in verse 9, but ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood. Why you think that we run around and see the thing is we've been discontinued from our heritage? That's why we think that, oh man, that person right there, he got so much game, this and that. No, we priests. That's why we can decipher through things. That's why we can explain things. That's why people come to us, because they want to get knowledge. What a priest have? A priest have knowledge. And everybody come to the Israelite because we have knowledge. That's why he said we are a royal priesthood. So that means we are the king of all the kings on this earth. But we have a king over us too. Go ahead.
As a matter of fact, we can get some context, because I know a lot of times they love to say we taking it out of context. Read verse 1, chapter 1.
That's right.
Read that.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 1, verse 1. Peter, an apostle of Jesus Christ, to the strangers scattered throughout.
Hold up. Now they got us right there. It's the strangers talking about the other people. You got to understand, it is two sets of strangers in the Bible, people. Right. It's the strangers that was amongst our people that was scattered amongst the other nations. And guess what? It's the real strangers of the other nations, man. Let's get that. So we don't want to leave nothing. Give me Leviticus.
The strangers of our people was the ones that, like, when they was all in Jerusalem, a lot of them that were scattered outside of Jerusalem, those were considered strangers when they came back. They was called strangers when they came back to do feast days, because they had to come back to Jerusalem. And the people that lived in Jerusalem was calling them strangers, because they wasn't from here. Now, y'all don't live here, but they were strangers. But they still knew they were their brothers.
Exactly. And as a matter of fact, we're going to read what I just said. Give me Leviticus 25 and 35. That's a pivotal point, because when they read that in the New Testament, that's how they try to join everybody together. No, the Bible is 2 one people and 4 one people by one people, man. Right. It's just that plain and simple. Read that, Leviticus 25 and 35.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 35. And if thy brother of your nation of people, because guess what? We weren't calling the other nations thy brother. And what we say today, that's my brother. That's my bro. Shalom, brother. Read on, And if thy brother be waxing poor.
So if you have a brother of another tribe waxing poor, read on.
And falling in decay with thee. Then thou shalt relieve him.
Then guess what? We should relieve him. That's loving your brother as you love yourself. Let's just say if a brother from Benjamin fall on hard terms and lose his land, he would come into the land of Judah to work and to get his land back. Guess what? He is a stranger because his land was the land of Benjamin. That's God gave everybody a lot of inheritance. Read on, read it from the top.
And if thy brother be waxing poor and falling in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him.
Then thou shalt relieve him, because that'll stop us being poor. If we come gather amongst each other and ask each other for help, that's a commandment too. Read on,
Yea, though he be a stranger.
Though he be a what?
Yea, though he be a stranger.
So that stranger in 1 Peter, guess what? This is talking about their strangers right there. Read on,
Or a sojourner.
Or a sojourner. Read on.
That he may live with thee.
That he may what?
Live with thee.
So your brother was considered strangers if they wasn't from their land. Let's go back. Like the Bible said, precept must be upon precept, man. Because if you don't, you're not getting the correct understanding. You'll read that and think that Peter was going, or Paul was going to the other nations, bringing them in. Read that verse 1 again.
1 Peter, verse 1, chapter 1, verse 1. Peter, an apostle of Jesus Christ, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus.
To the brothers of the Israelites that were scattered throughout Pontus. Because guess what? According to the curses in Deuteronomy, guess what? We were scattered amongst all nations. That goes over people's heads too. That's reading the Bible in its complete context. Read on up.
Galatia.
Read on.
Cappadocia. Asia. Bithynia.
Yeah, and Bithynia. Read on. Give me verse 2 too.
Verse 2. Elect.
Hold up. Elect. Read on,
According to the foreknowledge of God.
According to the who?
Foreknowledge of God.
Now let's get that elect. Give me Isaiah 45 and 4. Like I say, they just quoting the Old Testament. That's all that they doing. Paul wasn't writing anything that they didn't know. Everything that Paul wrote, he pulled it and quoted it from the Old Testament. He's just saying it in different words. That's all that he's doing. Read that out.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 4.
Write these precepts down, people. Read on.
For Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, mine elect.
And Israel, who?
Mine elect.
No, Mother Teresa breaking behind.
And Israel, mine elect.
No, the Pope molesting behind.
For Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, mine elect.
Israel is the elect. Read on now.
I have even called thee by thy name.
He had even called us by what?
By thy name.
Read on now.
I have surnamed.
God have surnamed us. Read on now.
Though thou hast not known.
Though we don't keep his commandments as a nation of people, man. Guess what? We are still his people. A lot of our people don't even know that, man. So we got to understand the Bible makes a difference, man. Give me 1 Chronicles 17 and 20. So we, like I say, man, if y'all see spiritual Israelite in the Bible, please text me that, man. I've been looking for that, man. Please text it to me, man, so we can get the correct understanding.
Hold up. Before we go there, let's go. Let's touch back on it. Leviticus chapter 26. He already read verse 45. Let's read down one more verse, so he can go ahead and it can go further into what he see.
26.
All praise, brother, bring this out, because this the other strangers, the real strangers. Go ahead,
The book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 45. But I will for their sakes remember.
Hold on, jump up to verse 44.
Verse 44. And yet for all that, wherein they be in the land of their enemies.
Which one, 25 or 26?
26, chapter 26 and verse 46.
Yeah, 40.
46. Well, I won't, but you go first. 44.
Verse 44. And yet for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away. Neither will I arbor them to abhor them.
Okay, now he's talking about us when he said when we be in the land of our enemies, he's not gonna cast us away. So when he started reading all them different places where the people was at, he was talking about us. Read that out.
Neither will I abhor them to destroy them utterly and to break my covenant with them. For I am the Lord, their God.
He said he's the Lord. I will go read on up.
Verse 45, but I will for their sakes remember the covenant of their ancestors, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt in the sight of the heathen.
Now, when he was reading when you reading 1 Peter 1 and 1, it goes back and when you can read the content, when you reading it, guess what? It's showing you guess when we was in them different lands, he said he wasn't gonna break the covenant with us. We still was gonna be his people through the bloodline. Read on.
Hold on right quick. Maccabees, do me a favor. Pull up, give me the definition of ancestors. Because a lot of times Negroes can get simple sometimes,
they
man.
want to tap dance.
They really do, man. We know the Edomites, they was born that way, man. So hey, we coming for our people, man. Y'all can't play semantics with the words, man. Y'all just cannot do it. Go ahead,
Ancestors, plural noun, ancestor. A person is typically one more remote than a grandparent from one who is descended.
From one who is what?
Descended.
That means the same blood. So it's not bringing all nations into there. That answers to let you know that is a specific word. Go ahead. That's it on that?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That I might be their God. I am the Lord. Verse 46. These are the statutes and judgments and laws.
See, now he's showing us these are the statutes and judgment of law. We know who the only people that was given the law. That's the Israelites. Read on now.
These are the statutes and judgments and laws which the Lord made between him and thy children of Israel.
He said, and thy children of Israel, read on.
In Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses.
See, so that stamped it right. That was a seal right there, man. He stamped it right being in there, man. So when people want to sit here and tap in with the scripture, no, we're not doing it. It's not I want to join the Israelites. I want to know. It's bloodline, man.
Exactly.
And see, a lot of times, man, a lot of people up there talking about spiritual Israelites, but the thing about it is they want to get away from them curses that we had to go through. We had to go through them. So how y'all all of a sudden is I'm a spiritual Israelite? You missed all the stuff that made us who we were.
That's a good point, huh?
And see that, and it's so funny. Look, it's basically, if you want to put it in layman's term, let's put it in how the nation or the world call it the layman's term. They want our rhythm, but they don't want our blues.
Exactly.
Come on, man. That's gonna stop playing the game, man. You don't want the blues or the curses, but they want the rhythm and all the blessings and stuff.
All the benefits.
Man. Come on, man. You gotta, if you want the rhythm, man, you gotta take the blues too, man. We buy bloodline, man.
Exactly, man. Give me 1 Chronicles chapter 17, verse 20, man. That's heavy right there, man, for real. Because they love to bring themselves in, like Captain Maccabees was saying, without doing no hard work. You know, shoot, where was y'all at on them slave ships, man? Where was y'all in bondage for 300 and 400 years? Still on the bottom to this day, man. Y'all ruling the world, man.
And where are y'all at in this society right now? Yeah. At the top of the world, and a lot of them, and then especially a lot of them that's in the what you call them, like Jehovah's Witness, they up there, they do the same thing. You know, if you ever notice, you never really see none of them poor that's in the Jehovah's Witness. They always, you know, we set up in America. You know, they got their label a little well off. And everybody wants to skip everything that we have to go through.
Exactly.
And we're gonna get to that later on. I'm gonna bring it out, and I got another one, but I'll wait until we get in there.
Give me 1 Chronicles 17 and 20.
The book of 1 Chronicles, chapter 17, verse 20.
Chronicles is going into, guess what? The records. That's all that is going into. Read on up.
Oh Lord, there is none like thee.
So there is none like our God. Read on up.
Neither is there any God besides.
So it's no other God beside our Most High God. That cobblestone Allah, guess what? They not up there, man. Krishna, that octopus is not up there, man. Read on up.
Neither is there any God beside thee, according to all that we have heard with our ears. Verse 21. And what one nation?
Read that again.
And what one nation?
So, and what many nations?
And what one nation?
God is being specific. And what one nation, people? Read on.
In the earth is like thy people Israel.
Is like thy people who?
Is like thy people Israel.
Do I see a spiritual in front of that Israel?
No.
It's no spiritual. That is talking about the blood descendants. Read on, huh?
Whom God went to redeem, to be his own people.
To be his what?
His own people.
To be his own people, Israel. Read on, huh?
To make thee a name of greatness.
Because guess what? He is making us a name of greatness. Right now, the Israelites is back on the streets. It's an uproar in the world because the truth of the Bible is coming out, man. They scrambling, trying to put stuff together to see how they can combat the Israelites. They even got our own people that they're going to put out there first to see how they can combat us. But guess what? Like Captain Jeroboam said, we are undefeated in these scriptures, man. Read on, huh?
And terribleness by driving out nations from before thy people.
From before what?
Thy people.
Because guess what? He sent David around warned with the other nations, man. David wasn't no joke, man. He was slaughtering the other nations left and right, man, to put us back where the Most High God wanted us to be.
And also, man, we got the same spirit of David. We driving out nations right now with these scriptures, man.
Exactly.
Man, and while we fighting, while we fighting this good fight for the Most High God, look around the world. Man, he's purging the whole world for us right now, man. Things is just erupting. People going in there, buildings, just shooting up places. Guess what? You don't hear the Israelites dying like that.
Exactly.
But guess what? You hear the wicked, the 2/3 ones going to perish with them, but the Israelites, the ones that hear his voice, the sheep that hear his voice, no, you don't hear us falling by the sword. You just look at California.
I was just about to say it.
Look.
Hold up. It seems like that place stay on fire, man. Every time you hear about it, it's a wildfire. Go ahead,
You see how they got relaxed. And then that one fire that sprung up and took the whole town out just like that. I'm like, and the people didn't have time. 5 people died on that one just out of nowhere. Y'all hear the fire is out. I said, no, it ain't.
Go ahead,
Yeah. But like you say, man, the death toll is going. Look at, because see, our people, we look at different little things. That's why the Most High God said he used everything he got, because everything he got is a lie. It's a lie. Everything he had, guess what? When he commands something to do something, how could you command something to do something that don't have a brain? Everything he got has a mindset of doing what the Lord say do. So when he said the wind to blow, guess what the wind gonna think to do? It's gonna blow. If you say the sun to shine, guess what the sun gonna do? The sun not gonna do nothing else but what the Lord say do. It's gonna do his job. That's right.
And that's what I was gonna tell him when he was talking about there's no other God up here but me. And the sun, like everybody, is not a God, because the Most High called that to light. if he called it out of light, he the Most High was there. Man, I was in darkness all the time. I could see everything. He could see everything anyway, but there wasn't even no light around.
That's right.
So the fact of the matter is, the sun is no God. He can blow that out too. So like he can blow our candle out, he can blow that out too.
Go ahead. I read verse 21 again, man.
First Chronicles 17, verse 21. And what one nation in the earth is like thy people Israel, whom God went to redeem to be his.
And like we always say, even before I got in this truth, I knew it was something special about us. Look how we dominate the sports. The smartest people, man, the most fashionable people. The things that they see us do, guess what? They want to steal and copy, man. The best cooks. Even when doing that time, Master didn't want that wife up in there cooking. He wanted that Negro slave after frying that chicken, man. That's who we want, man. We the best at everything that we do, and it's because that we are God's chosen people. Read on, huh?
His own people, to make thee a name of greatness and terribleness.
And that's what we're trying to get back to. We're trying to get back to that name of greatness. Because guess what? Our fame went throughout the whole world, man, for being famous, the most fashionable, to being the best at everything, like Solomon, the smartest, most wisest man ever. Read on, huh?
By driving out nations.
We can't forget our Lord and Savior, the best man ever, Yahweh Shah, man. Right. We can never leave that off. Read on, huh?
By driving out nations from before thy people, whom thou hast redeemed out of Egypt.
Read on, huh?
Verse 22, for thy people Israel.
For thy who?
For thy people Israel.
Man, you see it over and over again, man. For thy people Israel. For my nation Israel. Read on, huh?
Didst thou make thine own people forever?
Wait a minute, for what?
Forever.
That means never ceasing. Forever means forever. Forever, ever.
Ever, ever.
Read on, huh?
And thou, Lord, becamest their God.
And he became our God. Read on, huh?
Verse 23. Therefore now, Lord, let the thing that thou hast spoken concerning thy servant and concerning his house be established forever.
Be established for what?
Forever.
Read on, huh?
And do as thou hast said. Let it even be established that thy name may be magnified forever.
May be what?
Magnified forever.
Because that's what we are throwing those corners doing. We magnifying our Lord and Savior's name, man. Yahweh Shah's name. Read on, huh?
Saying, the Lord of hosts is the God of Israel, even a God to Israel. And let the house of David, thy servant, be established before thee.
The house of David. Remember these words: house, father, generation, pedigree, race. These things goes all into the same thing. Nation of people, an ethnic group with common goals and cultures in agreement. Read on, huh?
For thou, O my God, hast told thy servant that thou wilt build him an house. Therefore, thy servant has found in his heart to pray before thee.
To do what?
To pray before thee.
That's all we want on that. Give me 2nd Ezra chapter 5, verse 27.
Hold up, Bob. I got
some more.
bring that mug out. You got to read verse 26, man.
Bring it out, huh?
The last verse, man.
Verse 26 of Chronicles chapter 17. And of First Chronicles chapter 17. And now, Lord, thou art God, and hast promised this goodness unto thy servant.
He said he did what?
And has promised this goodness unto thy servant.
And then let you know we was given the promise, man. He said the promise, man. He said the promise of this goodness unto thy servant, man. We the servants, man. Exactly. Of the bloodline, man. It's all about the bloodline, no matter how you put it, man.
And God gives us, because they love to be crafty with this. How y'all know? Do y'all have a DNA test, man? We know all this stuff is tainted. Because guess what? In order to, like how they do today, in order to know who the baby daddy is, what they have to have? The blood from the baby daddy and the blood from the baby. Can we go dig up our bones from David? Do they have the bones of David? Do they have the bones of Jeremiah? No. So we know that this stuff is garbage. God identifies us through the curses and through Genesis 49 and through Deuteronomy 33, man. That's how we identify who the Israelites are today.
And the thing about that is they can't find the bones, because all the way from back when we was in the ancient days, they were scattering our bones. They would go get our bones and scatter them all over the place, put them all over the place, so we would never know. And then they trying to figure out. They know, But then they trying to come back and say, well, they just make up a DNA. They take a white man and say, see, this is the DNA of them. No, that's not it. Because they ain't doing none of this stuff that the Bible got the DNA. The DNA is his Bible.
Exactly.
And them curses.
Okay. And let's make it even smaller than this. Okay. Animals kill each other every day in the woods. Can you walk in the woods and find a whole bunch of dead animals? Or do they go back to the dust just like we going to go back to the dust? Come on, man. Don't try to play these semantic games. Guess what? If that's the case, then when the animals were killing each other, you should be able to walk in the woods and see all kind of dead animals laying there. But you can't do it. Because guess what? We was made from the dust. You go back to the dust.
Exactly,
man. Simple as that, man.
It's just as simple, man. We got the Lord start to learn to use common sense.
That's right.
But that's that old saying, common sense ain't common, man. You know, especially amongst our people, because we have been taught to believe anything that our enemies tell us, man. Right. We got to understand we cannot. It says never trust thine enemies, man. In nothing, man. Go back. What are we on? Give me 2nd Ezra chapter 5, verse 27. We'll jump up to 22, man. Because this is Esdras, the same Esdras in the Bible, man. This is going over and this talking. Esdras even running it down, man. Esdras is deep, man, because he was getting into the thoughts. He trying to know everything, man. You know, and he was just really just getting it in. Read on,
Book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 5, verse 22. And my soul recovered the spirit of understanding, and I began to talk with the Most High again.
Drop up to verse 20, man.
Right. Verse 20. And so I fasted 7 days, mourning and weeping, like as Uriel the angel commanded.
So Ezra is getting in with one of the 7 archangels, Uriel. You know, it tells you when you have a man of understanding, wear out the steps of his door, man. So Uriel was getting all the history, trying to want to know this. Why we in captivity? We your chosen people. Why we on the bottom of society? Tell me this. I'm talking about Ezra was asking some stuff like regular people be scared to ask, but the Most High knew his passion for his people, man. He cared about his people, and he just wanted to know these things. So it's important, guess what? For brothers and sisters to fast, man. It's very important, man. Fasting with prayer is very important. That helps build your spirit. Go ahead,
and that's the reason why Christ was telling the disciples, look, man, they couldn't cast that demon out. They said, because Christ said you got to do much praying and fasting. So that's what the angels doing, saying the same thing. What the Father's saying. Guess what? You got to pray and fast too. He's like, man, you want to know these answers? This is what you got to do, man.
Exactly.
It's like Daniel did when he was getting all his. Daniel sat up there and prayed, and he wasn't gonna stop until the angel came down to him. It took 21 days. He was like, I'm gonna wait for that. I'm gonna wait.
Exactly.
I eat when he come and speak to me.
And like I just bring up, that's showing that he had a strong faith too, man. You know, 21 days, man. Our people be struggling for 20 hours or 2 hours, man. So you practice make perfect, people. We know that we have never practiced these things until now. So guess what? Start and get better and better at it, man. And that's like with anything.
And that kills all the doctrine about, oh man, if you go 3 days without water, you'll die. That's a lie. You go 7 days without water. That's a lie too. The Bible just proved it.
That you can do it, man.
Yeah, they were doing Moses 40 days.
40 days.
I was shot 40 days before the night.
We know those brothers was filled with the strong spirit, word.
And that's what happens. That's the thing about it. If you just starving without eating and you ain't got the spirit, you gonna die.
Yeah, exactly, man.
But when you fast and doing it for the Most High, you filling your body up with the Holy Spirit. What's keeping that body alive is the Holy Spirit.
Exactly, man. Read verse 20 again.
Verse 20. And so I fasted 7 days, mourning and weeping
because of his people. Read on.
Like as Uriel the angel commanded me.
Read on.
Verse 21. And after 7 days, so it was that the thoughts of my heart were very grievous unto me. Verse 22. And my soul recovered the spirit of understanding, and I began to talk with the Most High again.
Because that's what the angels do. Most High sends them as the messengers to do his will or to send a message. Most High is not coming down off his throne coming to talk with people. He talks through us through the scriptures and through his messengers, the angels, man.
And we notice he said as Uriel had commanded him to do. So Uriel, in order to answer the question that Ezra has for him, he had told him, you got to first fast for 7 days.
Yeah.
That means ain't no more of your flesh in the way.
Yeah.
Now I can just talk to your spirit. Now you can receive what I got to give you. Now I can give you some stuff those answers that you're looking for.
Exactly.
So I can't give them to you when you was in the flesh.
Exactly.
And see, and I don't think what the fasting do. The fasting is just it breaks down. It breaks, like I was bringing out. It breaks down the body, but it's like a cleanse. It's like the cleansing of your body. When you not eating, putting all this different stuff in your body, your spirit's gonna react more than your flesh gonna react. So it's all about the breakdown. Just like it's even going back to Leviticus when the high priest went in, they had to be cleansed.
Yeah.
They had to be cleansed. Guess what? Your soul has to be cleansed to talk to the Most High God. So when you fast, and that breaks it down, so you can speak.
And just even on that point, man, you can have the cleanest body there is. You can have, you can eat all the right things. You can do all the right things. Jog all morning, exercise all night. But guess what? It's flesh, and it is never no good. It's the spirit that's inside. It's just dwelling in this flesh. But around it, you got the good that dwelling inside of this wickedness. That's why it's always a war with your flesh and your spirit.
And we'll constantly be touching over that. That'd be a good class to go into next week, man.
Yeah.
For real. Because we can never do enough of these classes, man. Like we say all the time, the more and more we go over it, the more and more you get understanding about it. Your flesh versus your spirit. Read verse 23 out.
Verse 23. And it said, O Lord, that bears rule of every wood of the earth.
So Ezra is going into the things, the favorites of the Most High God. Read on up.
And of all the trees thereof, thou hast chosen thee thou hast chosen thee one only vine.
So guess what? Of all the woods and all the trees on the planet Earth, guess what? The Most High God has a favorite vine. He likes the vine. And a lot of times people can't grasp it. And it goes into Isaiah 55:8. His thoughts is not our thoughts. We can't understand that, man. We just got to go by what the scriptures say. Read on up.
Verse 24. And of all lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit. And of all the flowers thereof, one lily.
One what?
One lily.
So God's favorite flower is the lily. Read on up.
Verse 25.
Hold on.
What you want? 24 again?
Yeah, go ahead.
Read that again.
Verse 24. And of all lands of
That's everything in this whole earth. Of all the earth, go ahead.
And of all lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit.
One pit, one section of land. That's Jerusalem, Israel. That's why we have that. That's why it's his land. He chose one. Man, think about it. Look all around the whole world. We just on a little tiny little piece of it. There's places everywhere. You see them on TV, but the Most High only chose one. So that's Israel. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Art.
And of all the flowers thereof, one lily.
One who?
One lily.
So like we said, God's favorite land is Jerusalem. His favorite flower is the lily. Read on.
And of all the depths of the sea, thou hast filled thee one river.
One who?
One river.
The Jordan River. Read on up.
And all builded cities that has hallowed Zion unto thyself.
Zion. Read on up. The city of David. Read on.
And of all the fowls that are created, thou hast named thee one dove.
So of all the multitudes of birds that are on the planet Earth, guess what? He likes the dove. The dove is his favorite. Read on up.
And of all the cattle that are made, thou hast provided thee one sheep.
That has provided thee what?
One sheep.
So all the multitudes of cattle that's on the planet, God only likes the sheep. Read on.
And among all the multitudes of people.
Read that again up.
And among all the multitudes of people.
Because guess what? Not only does he have favorite animals, favorite flowers, guess what? He also has a favorite people. Read on up.
Thou hast gotten to thee one people.
One who?
One people.
Which is the nation of Israel. That's self-explanatory. Read on up.
And unto this people.
And unto this people, read on.
Whom thou lovest.
No, God loves everyone.
Whom thou lovest.
Whom God loves. Read on.
Thou gavest a law that is approved of all.
That is what?
Approved of all.
Read on up.
And now, O Lord, why hast thou given this one people over unto many?
So that's when Ezra was getting into it
and asking the questions years. Well, if you love us so much, why you sending us into captivity after captivity? Read on up.
And upon the one root hast thou prepared other. And why hast thou scattered thy only one people among many? And they which did gainsay the promises and believe not the covenant.
Because we got a lot of gainsaying of our own people that gainsaying and don't really want the covenants of the Most High God. They always want to bring the other nations into what's only for us, man. I cannot understand that when the other nations damn sure is not inviting you to the things that's just for them. Won't they open up Highland Park for us to just let us come up in there and live happily ever after equally with them? You know, in some of these other places. Read on up.
And believe not thy covenants have trodden them down.
Have what?
Have trodden them down.
Read on up.
If thou didst so much hate thy people, yet shouldest thou punish them with thine own hands.
So hey, second there, he cutting it close right there, boy. You got to watch your mouth when you're talking to the Most High God. So he asking, talking through Uriah, hey, if you hate us so much, won't you come down and punish us with our own hand? You got to hold up, sure he could wipe out the whole Israelites, man. You don't want that, man. You know what I'm saying? So God's favorite people is the Israelites. That's a little something extra. We went a little bit long, but I really want to stop at verse 28. But that's just showing you that he's talking to the blood descendants of the nation of Israel. Give me Sirach 26 and 19.
The book of Sirach, chapter 26, verse 19. My son, keep the flower of thine age sound.
Keep the what?
The flower of thine age sound. And give not thy strength to strangers.
And give not thy strength. Your strength is going into your sperm. Don't give it to the other nations. Read on up.
When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession.
When you have gotten a fruitful possession, a woman marrying a fruitful man of Israel, or a man marrying a fruitful woman of Israel. Read on.
Through all the fields. Sow it with thine own seed.
Do what?
Sow it with thine own seed.
No, I want this Caucasian baby so they can have good wavy hair.
Sow it with thine own seed.
No, I don't like this baby because they too dark.
Sow it with thine own seed.
Read on now.
Trusting in the goodness of thy stock.
Read that again up.
Trusting in the goodness of thy stock.
We have to learn to trust in the goodness of our stock. That stock is also going into your sperm. Trust in what the Most High God gave us. Because guess what? Believe it or not, woolly hair is the best hair on the planet, man.
Woolly hair. Let me repeat that again.
Go ahead,
Woolly hair is the best hair on the planet.
And we got to understand, God could have had any type of texture hair that he wanted. But guess what he chose to have? Woolly hair. So that lets you know that woolly hair is the best texture hair on the planet.
And how could you be a follower of God and a follower of Christ and say that you like your oppressor's hair? Come on, man. When you want to have hair like the Most High God, like his son? Come on, man. That's right there, man. Look, we pray that you brothers don't go into a reprobate state, man. Look, all praise to the Most High God. Guess what? How could you say all praise to the Most High God and not say God has the best hair?
And the reason he had that woolly hair because it reminds him of his favorite animal.
Exactly.
And reminds him of his trees.
Exactly.
And reminds him of his plants.
Exactly.
Guess what?
That does the same thing and grow towards the sun.
That's a good point, man. Because guess what? The sheep has woolly hair, man. You know, the trees grow up just like our hair do. You know, some of the sisters with their big afros, man. Sisters got to get back to that, man. Y'all got the best hair on the planet. Y'all need to be putting that doggy stringy hyena hair in y'all head, man. Y'all beautiful the way the Most High God created y'all, man. Y'all truly are, man. We got to come back to that. Read verse 21. This is the point, man.
Verse 21. So thy race.
So thy what?
So thy race.
Wait a minute. I thought race wasn't in the Bible.
So thy race.
So thy race. So thy nation. So thy house. So thy generation. So thy pedigree. These things go into the same thing. Read on up.
Which thou leavest.
So the race. So your children, which you leave, read on.
Shall be magnified.
Shall be what?
Magnified.
Shall be magnified. Read on up.
Having the confidence of their good descent.
Guess what? Your descendants. Descent goes into the same thing. So this is talking about the blood descendants of the Israelites. No spiritual Israelites in the Bible, man. We got to come up out of that madness, man, because you're making God out to be a liar. When we know God cannot tell a lie, man.
The scriptures cannot be broken, man. So race is in the scriptures.
And they always be saying, it's not about race. It's 100% about race.
Exactly.
And it's 100% of race about to the Most High. Because I got a race. That's why they always trying to get you off the race. But then they perform nothing but the major racism.
Exactly.
You like that, but how's it not about race when that's all y'all think about and do?
Exactly.
Even the good ones. Because
Yeah.
one of them step up, then it's about race. You nigga, no, hold on. You was just good with everybody till somebody pissed you off. They always play that game.
And that's exactly what they're doing. It's a game to them. Because if it wasn't if it wasn't about race, why we got to go in when you're trying to get a job and circle what gender you are? I mean, what nationality you are, what race you are. So that's letting you know, guess what it is. And all these things, when you're filling out for housing, they don't want them niggas up in there in them good neighborhoods. They filling that out. When it comes to getting car loans, bank loans, if that race didn't matter, why would they have you circle it or check that? That's letting y'all know that they are playing semantics, man.
Yeah.
That's a good point, huh?
I was on the phone. I was younger, man. I was trying to get a job at a hotel. And I had my little old white people voice on trying to get the job on the phone. So I'm speaking to the lady, and she's like, yeah, oh, this is going to be great. We need somebody to fill in as being a driver, driving around, everything. And so she told me to come up there and meet her. So I got up there, I was going, I could see because she had a glass office. And boy, she turned around and looked, and I was walking towards the office. I mean, as soon as I opened the door, she said, "Oh, well, that position been filled." I didn't even tell her who I was or nothing. I was like, she had already seen. That's the black dude. That's black. I didn't know he was black. I was like, boy, that's something else. Immediately, the job was filled. I guess the job was filled on the phone from me over here to over here. The job right here.
Yeah, exactly.
When you just promised me the job.
Sure. And that's terrible. Like you said, that lets you know race does matter, man. Don't never let people tell you that it doesn't, man. Because it do. That's why the whole world is upside down, because the race of Israel is on the bottom, man. Read, give me 2nd Ezra chapter 3 and verse 30. Start at verse 31. This is Ezra. Like we always tell y'all, read the book of Ezra. Really read the whole Apocrypha. But Ezra really is a good story, man. You got to go in there and read it, man, because it's some things that, guess what, we will want to ask. I don't know if I would have the courage to archangel of the Most High God. You have to watch your mouth. But we understand that, guess what, we got compassion for our people, man. We just want to know why things are the way they are. Right?
And see, and don't get it wrong. We don't want to get it wrong. The archangel was checking him too.
Yeah,
when he went too far, he checked him.
And we're gonna read that. We're gonna read that, man. Because that's exactly right, man. You got to understand this. He is representing the power of the Most High God. So guess what? He has power himself too, man. So don't get it twisted like Ak is bringing out. Read that, Ak.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 3, verse 31. I do not remember how this way may be left. Are they then of Babylon better than them of Sion?
So Ezra is asking, are they of Babylon better than us? Because Babylonians had took us into captivity. Ezra was in the time of the Babylonian captivity, guess what? And the transitioning of the Persian and the Mede captivity. When you read over in chapter 1, verse 1. Read on up.
Verse 32. Or is there any other people that know it thee beside Israel?
Read that again, Ak.
Or is there any other people that knoweth thee besides Israel?
2nd Ezra, Ezra is giving us a little insight, because a lot of times when we hear that, dealing with the little Moabite chick who was out there a few weeks ago, no other nation knows us. Read on, Ak.
Or what generation had so believed thy covenants as Jacob?
Read on, Ak.
And yet their reward appeared not, and their labor had no fruit.
And neighbor have what?
No fruit.
Because he felt like we was doing a lot and weren't reaping the benefits of it. But guess what? The Most High is slowly waking us up, slowly but surely, bringing a brother here, bringing a sister there in. Read on, Ak.
For I have gone here and there through the heathen.
Mhm.
And I see that they flow in wealth.
Because we see the other nation, they flowing in will, wicked as hell, but they control everything, man. You know, that flexes our spirit, but all praise to the Most High God. We know why these things are such. Read on.
And think not upon thy commandments.
Read that again, huh?
And think not upon thy
Because
commandments.
a lot of times they say, yeah, I can keep the commandments, but the Most High, He's letting us know that they never think about keeping God's commandments, man. Never. It's not in them to do God's commandments, man. They not built for that. Read on up.
Verse 34. Weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance.
So, Ezra is saying, weigh our wickedness with their wickedness in the balance and see whose is greater. Read on.
And there's also that dwell in the world. And so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel.
But in who?
But in Israel.
God's name that's going into his reputation is nowhere found but only in Israel,
That's
man.
right.
Only, man, of all the nations of the people. Read on.
35. Or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight?
Because they constantly doing sin, man. Bringing up these wicked holidays, man. Doing this, these sacrifices, going into the shootings, going into mass kidnappings of people, going into setting up abortion clinics in our neighborhoods. They in just filled with sin. Read on up.
Or what people have so kept thy commandments?
Or what?
Or what people have so kept thy commandments?
Name me a Chinese that is keeping the Feast of Dedication. Name me a so-called the right way, or name me the East Indians that's doing the Passover, or the Caucasians that's doing any of the commandments. Read on up.
Thou shalt find that Israel by name hath kept thy precepts.
Read on up.
But not the heathen.
But who?
But not the heathen.
The other nations do not keep God's laws, man. Right. So he is not dealing with them, man. The laws wasn't even given to them, man. Give me Sirach 44:1.
And the thing about it, they use the Bible.
Yes.
They use it for their religion, but at the same time, when we come out and say we got to go back to the commandments, law, statutes, and commandments, they find a way. Oh no, we don't got to do that. They always try to find a way to get out. Well, they couldn't keep them back in. When we know for a fact they were keeping them back then. Not everybody, but a lot of them was keeping the commandments. And even when Yahushua came, that's what he said. But the ones that did keep them, oh yeah, I picked them. Because those other ones, like, they didn't accept him when he came. Like they said, they didn't accept him. Oh no, they accepted him. Some of them did, not everybody, but there was some that did. Not everybody did not break the commandments.
Yeah. And that's just like we were dealing with that young sister out there, and how the angel made second Esdras. I mean, we keep on saying.
I know, man.
And how the angel made Esdras get his spirit up by fasting. This young girl had questions about, well, why is they doing this and we on the bottom? Just like last night, the brother was like, well, they doing this, and how they don't like us. They got their own business. But you have to strengthen your spirit, man. You have to get in these scriptures and do what they want and do what the Most High wanted to do in order to get the understanding why. And that's what Idris was trying to get the understanding of why, man. What's going on? They not keeping the laws, we are.
Exactly, man. But like I said, we got to learn to do it as a nation of people, because these brothers was righteous brothers, Jeremiah, Isaiah, but guess what? Most High still put them in captivity. You know, so we got to learn to do it as a nation of people, man. If one is not doing it, guess what? We all not doing it, man. We got to have every man, woman, and child keeping these commandments of the 1/3, man, and the 144,000, man. That's it, man. That's the only way we're going to get up out of this captivity.
And that's why we must be rebuking ourselves.
Exactly, man.
And correcting ourselves. Correcting ourselves on a daily basis.
Exactly, man. Even if we don't like it, man, because that's a pivotal point. For real, man. That's what the Bible is all about. It's just about correction, man. Knowing what to do and knowing what not to do. You got something up?
Go ahead.
Give me Sirach chapter 44, verse 1.
The book of Sirach, out of the Apocrypha, chapter 44, verse 1. Let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begat us.
That what?
That begat us.
That had us, that produced us. Man, we give all praises to our forefathers, man, because without them, guess what? We wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be none. We wouldn't be getting the understanding of these scriptures, man. So we give all praises to that. Jump down to 16.
Hey, before you go to verse 16, let's start at verse 10 on that one,
Yeah,
man.
go
So
ahead,
you can get the whole full context, because it elaborates down to bring into the fold of how you can see how our forefathers really got down, how their names stuck and still here right now. Go ahead.
The book of Sirach, chapter 44, verse 10. But these were merciful men, whose righteousness has not been forgotten. With their seed shall continually remain.
Hold up. When you jump back up to verse 10, read that again.
Verse 10. But these were merciful men, whose righteousness has not been forgotten.
We know according to Deuteronomy 60:25, righteousness is the keeping of God's commandments. Guess what? When you are keeping God's commandments, you will not be forgotten, man. We are not doing these things in vain, man. It is a reward for our works and for our faith in Yahushua, man. Don't get it twisted. Read on up.
Verse 11.
Because hold up, because I think that's what a lot of people out there on the corners think, that we doing that for nothing. Y'all wearing them spriggly things, your little shimmies. Y'all laughing now, but you're gonna cry later, man.
Right.
Read on up.
Hold on, go back to verse 1 before you go there.
Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 1 of chapter 44 of the Sirach. Let us now praise famous men. And
not LeBron James, not no all them not what you call them ones
Actors and rappers.
What's that dude's name?
Oh,
Denzel.
All them, those are not famous men. All these old ones we be looking at, Dred Scott, them are not the famous man the Most High talking about. That's when it goes over to 10. It explains what famous man we supposed to be praising.
Exactly.
Because the ones that did and kept upright God's laws, you can praise them because why? They showing you how the example of the Most High God, what He is. So when they keep all His laws, that's the famous man.
That's right.
Abraham.
Yep.
You know, the men that came and did what the Most High said do. Job, Noah. That's why He said them perfect men. We praise them, because when we praise them, guess what? We're praising our forefathers.
And that's what you're gonna read, because they touch on the famous ones. Read started verse 11 now.
Verse 11. With their seed shall continually remain a good inheritance.
Read that again, man, because that goes over people's heads, man. With their seed, guess what's in your seed? Your sperm. So the children that you had, it continually remain with the nation of Israel, man. We are still on the planet Earth today, man. They made it seem as if the Israelites are a fairy tale, man, that we done away with, that they no longer walking on the earth along with the Edomites, man.
It's like dinosaurs, and they still here.
Man, read on now.
With their seed shall continually remain a good inheritance, and their children are within the covenant.
Are within the what?
And their children are within the covenant.
That's a clear-cut scripture right there, man. Are constantly within it. Go ahead.
Because you're right, that just hit it right on the knob. It says, with their seed shall continue to remain a good inheritance. You can't be a spiritual Israelite and get the inheritance without coming from the seed.
That's right. Exactly.
And that's what it's saying that. So just because all of a sudden you feel good, you know what I'm saying? And somebody running their mouth on came to your door, knocked on your door, and made you feel good. Now all of a sudden you get the inheritance without going through nothing.
Without putting the work in.
And half the time they going to somebody who's doing good anyway.
And another point, like our brothers always bring up some good point. They're just like me. Let's just say Rockefeller, he died. I just come up in there, hey, put me on that, man. I'm a spiritual Rockefeller, man. Give me some of that inheritance. It don't work like that, man. You got to be born into this family to get the benefits of this family and the rewards, man. You just can't put yourself in a wheel, man, or into benefits. You cannot do that, man. Read on up.
Verse 12. Their seed standeth fast, and their children for their sake.
Read on up.
Their seed shall remain forever.
For what?
Forever, ever.
And now you keep seeing, that's the reason why I want to jump over verse 10, because it keeps saying all the way down, seed. It's showing you bloodline, covenant. Guess what, man? This Bible, man, it's no joke. Go ahead, up.
Read on.
Their seed shall remain forever.
But watch the next part though.
And their glory shall not be blotted out.
So now he said our glory should not be blotted out. So how do you think that you can jump into to be a spiritual? I mean, I want to be a spiritual Israelite. Come on, man. It's by the bloodline, man.
Exactly, man.
And that's another thing. You other Israelites, y'all can't put them in either. It's got to be done by the seed. Just running your mouth and saying that, oh yeah, y'all can. No, you lying to them people, and all you want is their money, and you gonna get what they gonna get. Right. You better get this thing right.
Mm-hmm. Read on up.
Their seed shall remain forever, and their glory shall not be blotted out. Their bodies are buried in peace.
Now that's the point I wanted to get to right here. He said their bodies shall not be buried in peace. Their bodies shall be buried in peace. So if you put something in peace, guess what? That means nothing can bother them. That means you had one, you comfort. Guess what? So when you talk about what a forefather, guess what? Their body's in peace, man. Guess what? You're not gonna be able to find, even if their body was remaining, you still not gonna be able to find it because it's in peace. You can't touch nothing that's in peace. It's in peace.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
read on up.
But their name liveth forevermore.
Read that again,
But their name liveth forevermore.
Because we're gonna read about some of these names that's still living to this day, man. This Bible was written thousands of years ago, but guess what? We still remembering their name. Read on up. Jump down to 16.
Verse 16. Enoch pleased the Lord. And was translated.
So Enoch pleased the Lord so much that the Most High called him up to be with him. Read on.
Being an example of repentance to all generations.
To what?
To all generations.
These same words keep playing themselves over and over. Generation, pedigree, race, house, father. All these things go into the same thing. Read on up.
Noah was found perfect.
Was found what?
Perfect.
That means he was keeping the laws according to Psalms 19:7. Read on.
Noah was found perfect and righteous in the time of wrath. He was taken in exchange for the world.
For the what?
For the world.
Guess what? The Most High God killed all the world except for him. That's what that's going into. Read on up.
Therefore was he left as a remnant unto the earth when the flood came.
Read on up.
Verse 18. An everlasting covenant was made with him.
Read that again.
An everlasting covenant was made with him.
Because even just those two words, everlasting covenant, goes over people's heads. Everlasting means it never ends. So that means when you get to the New Testament, guess what? The ones from the Old Testament still never ended, man. It's still the same continuation on and on. They just use different words in the New Testament. Read on up.
That all flesh should perish no more by the flood. Abraham was a great father of many people.
Yes, he fathered many nations, but God only chose a specific nation to come out of his lineage, Isaac and Jacob. Read on.
And glory was there none like unto him.
Read on up.
Who kept the law of the Most High.
Wait a minute. Abraham did what?
Who kept the law of the Most High.
Abraham had the laws too. He was keeping the laws of God. People, read on.
And was in covenant with him.
Wasn't in agreement with him. Read on.
He established the covenant in his flesh.
But he established the covenant in his flesh when he sacrificed the foreskin of his penis. Read on.
And when he was proved, he was found faithful.
And when he went to go sacrifice his son Isaac, guess what? Most High was proving him. He was serious about that thing too. Like Captain Jeremiah always bring how you think Isaac was feeling, knowing. You know, he knew, but guess what? He was right along with his father too. You know, that's training up a son in the way that he should go. So he had faith, therefore his son had faith. Read on up.
Verse 21. Therefore, he assured him by an oath that he would.
Look, no, you can't go past that word.
Go ahead,
man. Hit that again. Read that again, man.
Therefore, he assured him by an oath.
That oath, that's a contract, man. So it didn't say it didn't say he can break that oath. That oath is still here, man, to this day, man. Go ahead.
That he would bless the nations of his seed.
In his seed. Read that again,
That he would bless the nations in his seed. And multiply him as the dust of the earth. And exalt his seed as the
seed. Singular. Read on,
as the stars, and cause them to inherit from sea to sea, and from the river unto the utmost part of the land. With Isaac did he establish likewise for Abraham his father's sake.
And according to Deuteronomy, Revelations 12:1, the stars are the 12 tribes of Israel. Right. Read on now.
With Isaac did he establish likewise for Abraham his father's sake.
and he's given a specific lineage that it came out through. So it's no ifs, ands, or buts. Can all nations be gathered? No, the Most High cut all of them out. He had Ishmael, he cut them out. He had Esau, he cut them out, and established his covenant with Isaac. Read on.
The blessings of all men and the covenant.
Read this last one.
Sure. Verse 23. And made it rest upon the head of Jacob.
Read that again, man.
And made it rest upon the head of Jacob.
And Jacob got the covenant, man. And guess what? Through his lineage, the 12 tribes of Israel. Read on now.
He acknowledged him in his blessing, and gave him inheritance, and divided his portions.
Among what?
Among the 12 tribes did he part them.
Among what?
Among the 12 tribes did he part them.
And guess what? Those 12 tribes produced what we have today. The so-called African Americans, the so-called Native Americans, the so-called Mexicans Americans. We descend from those 12 tribes, man. Right. So it's a specific lineage that it is going through, man. Give me Romans chapter 7, verse 14, real quick. Because a lot of times they say that they are spiritual, but let's see what it means to be spiritual.
The book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 14. For we know that the law is spiritual.
Read that again, now.
For we know that the law is spiritual.
So the law is spiritual. Read on up.
But I am carnal, sold under sin.
No, read that again, now.
But I am carnal, sold under sin.
So who was given the law? Give me Psalms 147, verse 19. So the law is spiritual. So guess what? You cannot be a spiritual Israelite if you're not keeping his laws. And we know that you're not, because you wasn't even given the laws. Read this.
Psalms chapter 147, verse 19. He showed his word unto Jacob.
Jacob's name was changed to Israel. Guess what? We have our daddy's last name. Just like how we do today. When a man produced the seed, it takes on that last name of the male. Read on.
He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Unto who?
Unto Israel.
Read on.
He has not dealt so with any nation.
That goes over people. That totally goes over people's head, man. Most High's not dealing with the other nations, man. No matter how bad y'all want to bring them into, like Captain Maccabee said, even for you Israelites, that goes over y'all head, man. Y'all cannot bring them into what's only for us, man. Y'all cannot do it, man. Read on up.
And as for his judgments, they have not known.
And it also touches on, they didn't go into slavery on slave ships, like I said. The judgments is the penalties for breaking God's laws. They're not going through judgments right now. They own everything. They own the top of society, man. They own the water companies. They own all the grocery stores. They own all the fabric stores. We don't own none of these things as a nation of people, man. You know, they're not going through those judgments. Go back to Romans 7 and 14. You got something?
Yeah, let me go to because there's some things that we got to go through that had to be done. That you can't be a spiritual light, because this is what had happened to the people that he has chosen. And go to Leviticus chapter 26 and start at 22.
Yeah, right there. That.
Book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 22. I will also send wild beasts among you.
That's wild men. Go ahead.
Which shall rob you of your children and destroy your cattle.
A lot of these spiritual Israelites, this didn't happen to. This happened to us. Keep going.
And make you few in number.
That's how we got few in number when we went into these slaves. Go ahead.
And your highways shall be desolate.
Our ways of doing things, the way we used to get around, those are desolate now. We don't have ways to get back in power right now. We don't have the weapons. We don't have the technology. We don't have ways that we had when we was in rulership. Go ahead.
Verse 23. And if ye will not be reformed by me, by these things.
Because we had to go through these things to get reformed. Spiritual Israelites didn't get reformed. They just jumping out and said, I want to be one of them. No, go ahead.
But will walk contrary unto me. Then will I also walk contrary unto you.
See, he walked, the Most High had to come against us because we came against him.
Yeah.
They just jumping in. Hold on, y'all don't do nothing. That's the reason we getting punished. So you just finna jump in at the last second. That's why I always think, like them cartoons, man, I just be thinking, if I'm falling down in the elevator, I'm gonna wait till it get to the bottom down there. So as they get down, I'm just gonna step off. And I'm not gonna get crushed. No, I'm on that. I got to go through that same thing. So if it fall, I'm falling. If it crush, I get crushed. That's the same thing. But they don't want to do that. They just think in the last second, I just waited on out. Go ahead.
And will punish you yet 7 times.
How many times?
Yet 7 times.
How many times?
Yet 7 times.
How many times must the Israelite, the child of the Most High, a real Israelite, have to get punished? Go say that again.
Yet 7 times.
Yet 7 times, because we've been in 7 captivities.
That's right.
Now all of a sudden you ain't been in not one.
That's right.
And want the same thing we got. They're like somebody talking about, man, when you get your whooping, you hold on, wait a minute. I had to get a whooping to get these pieces of candy. You just gave it to him. I'm gonna jump my brother as soon as mama turn her back around. God dang it, hold on. Because he didn't go through nothing. He gotta go through what I gotta go through if he want to get what I got. Yeah. Come on, man. Go ahead.
And will punish you yet 7 times for your sins.
Read the last one. That'll be the last one.
And I will bring a sword upon you.
And they didn't get no sword brought upon them by the Most High.
And the sword that he brought upon him, that's Psalm 17 and verse 13.
Read it right quick.
The book of Psalm chapter 17 and verse 13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
There you go. There you go. How, if they the wicked, they the sword. Man, come on, man. Boy, I'm glad you brought that up, man. They the sword. And now you want the inheritance? Come on, you the one who used to punish us.
Right.
Go ahead.
Hey, hold up. Because finish your point. Go ahead.
And I will bring a sword upon you that shall avenge the quarrel of my covenant.
Of my what?
Of my covenant.
Man, he just read who the covenant was given to. Go ahead.
And when ye are gathered together within your cities, I will send the pestilence among you, and ye shall be delivered into the hand of the enemy.
Of the who?
Of the enemy.
So now all of a sudden we done made the enemy what was the Most High used to get us correct, to go back to the covenant that we promised that we was going to keep. And now all of a sudden that enemy gets the covenant. And he was doing all the stuff that he was having a good time killing us. He was having a good time taking our children. He was having a great time killing our cattle. He was having a great time robbing us. And then at the end of the day, he gets the same covenant that we got because he was just used to get us in line. Man, that makes no sense, man. Y'all better get this thing right and quit giving this, man.
And that's the point for real, because guess what? How they going to have white supremacy in this world and then white supremacy in the kingdom too?
Exactly.
That don't even make no damn sense, man. That makes no sense at all, man. People have to, y'all got to meditate on that, man. It makes no sense, man, because the Ark was bringing it out perfectly, man. God made them to be our enemies, so our enemies going to be in the kingdom with us, man. That just don't make no sense. It won't be a kingdom, then we still going to be fighting. It won't be no peace, man.
And the Most High know what he created them for. I can't let them go in there. I created them to destroy stuff. Exactly. And if I let them in, guess what? The kingdom will be destroyed again, because they're going to be doing. That's why he told us we're going to rule with a rod of iron, because them Edomites going to be out there in that field. They're going to want to quit all the time. Yeah. And I'm going to knock them right in the head with that rod of iron, because I know they never going to get out of line. Yeah. Otherwise, it ain't just going to be no glorious thing just in the kingdom, everything nice. Otherwise, we wouldn't have to rule with a rod of iron.
Exactly. Now, give me that precept to Psalms 147, verse 19, because we got it in the Old Testament. Guess what? It's saying the same thing in the New. Give me Romans 3:1. Because it's saying the same thing. Paul just uses different words, man. That's all that it is, man.
The book of Romans, chapter 3, verse 1.
Yeah, let's start up at 1.
What advantage then hath the Jew?
It's an advantage for being a Jew. Read on up.
Or what profit is there of circumcision?
What profit is there for having God's laws for sacrifice? Read on.
Much every way.
Read that again up.
Much every way.
Guess what? We have an advantage of the other nations much every way. Anything that y'all can think of, we have an advantage over them. Read on.
Chiefly because that.
Mainly, read on.
Because that unto them were committed the oracles of God.
Were given the laws of God, man. That's saying the same thing in Psalms 147, verse 19, man. The same thing, man. We have an advantage of the other nations because we was the only one that was given his laws, man. That's right. No other nation was given that. Read on, huh?
Verse 3. For what if some did not believe?
Spiritual Israelites?
But what if some did not believe?
God said, what if y'all don't believe that? Guess what? The Israelites
is gonna get the kingdom of heaven. They was the only one that was giving the laws. Read on.
Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect?
So since you don't believe this, does this mean this not gonna happen? Let's see what the Most High God said.
God forbid.
Yes, hell no. Read on now.
Yea, let God be true.
Let this Bible be true, people. Read on now.
But every man a liar.
For every man a what?
But every man a liar.
Read on now.
As it is written, that thou mightest be justified in the sayings, and thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged.
And that as it is written is found in Psalms 51:4. Read that verse 4 again.
God forbid. Yea, let God be true.
People, that's a heavy point, man. We got to let this Bible, whatever the things that's coming out in the Bible, let that be true. And let this be the ultimate discerner of the Bible. Go ahead, huh?
Yeah, Paul was answering. I mean, that question that was asked is just what we just came off of in Leviticus. What advantage then had the Jew? Because he been through 7 captivities. They getting treated terrible. They getting killed in the street. So what advantage do we have?
Yeah.
And that's what the fact of the matter is, y'all, we still the chosen people.
Exactly.
We still got the covenant. We just got to go back and correct and do the part that we said we was going to do.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And that's all he had. What advantage you got? Y'all got the covenant. You just got to go and perform what's in the contract.
Exactly. And everything else will take care of itself, people. For real, we got to uphold our part of it, man, like Ak is bringing out, man. That's right, man. Read on, Ak. Read that again.
Verse 4. God forbid. Yea, let God be true, but every man a liar. As it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy saying.
Because when we coming out the Bible, guess what? You are justified, man, in your sayings, man. Because we're not saying nothing that's not in the scripture. God doesn't love everybody. He only loves the Israelites. Guess what? That's in the scriptures, man. We just reading what the Bible says, man. And we interpret it the correct way because guess what? We keep the commandments.
Right.
Read on, Ak.
And mightest overcome when thou art judged.
And we gonna overcome when we are being judged in the end, man. Because we will be overcome with keeping the laws, man. With having the faith in Yahweh Shah. Give me man, let's give me Matthew's 1. Matthew's chapter 1.
The book of Matthew.
Chapter 1, verse 1.
Chapter 1, verse 1. The book of the generation of Jesus Christ.
And the root word in generation is genes, man. This is the genes of Jesus Christ, of Yahweh Shah, Lord and Savior. Read on.
The son of David, the son of Abraham.
Because guess what? Christ came through a lineage, man. He came through the lineage of Abraham and David, man. This is specific, man. God is not bringing everybody into this, man. Even during the time of Christ, he made it specific. Read on, huh?
Abraham begat Isaac,
Mm-hmm.
and Isaac begat Jacob.
We're just going to read through it. Go ahead.
And Jacob begat Judas, and his brethren.
And the 12 tribes. Read on.
And Judas begat Phares, and Zerah of Tamar. And Phares begat Esrom, and Esrom begat Aram, and Aram begat Aminadab, and Aminadab begat Nason, and Nason begat Salmon, and Salmon begat Boaz of
Boaz
of Rachab, and Boaz begat Obed of Ruth, and Obed begat Jesse, and Jesse begat David the king, and David the king begat Solomon of her that had been the wife of Uriah, and Solomon begat Rehoboam, and Rehoboam begat Abiah, and Abiah begat Asa, and Asa begat Josaphat, and Josaphat begat Joram, and Joram begat Ozias, and Ozias begat Joatham, and Joatham begat Achaz, and Achaz begat Hezekiah, and Hezekiah begat Manasseh, and Manasseh begat Amon, and Amon begat Josias, and Josias begat Jeconias and his brethren, about the time they were carried away to Babylon. And after they were brought to Babylon, Jeconias begat Salathiel, and Salathiel begat Zerubbabel, and Zerubbabel begat Abid, and Abid begat Eliakim, and Eliakim begat Azor, and Azor begat Zadok, and Zadok begat Achim, and Achim begat Eliab. And Eliab begat Eleazar, and Eleazar begat Mathan, and Mathan begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who was called Christ.
Who is called what?
Who was called Christ.
Because this also slices that immaculate deception.
Yeah, hold on. Go read that 16 again. No, read 15 first.
And Eliab begat Eleazar.
Notice he started verse 1. All of these going through a bloodline.
Exactly.
All right, now, this is what Christianity is talking about. Listen to this. Go ahead.
And Eliab begat Eleazar, and Eleazar begat Mathan, and Mathan begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Joseph.
Now, hold on. Now, according to them, all of a sudden, it went through all of that. Now, it ain't a bloodline no more. Now, it's a spiritual angel. Well, if it was an angel who impregnated Mary, guess what? Then that stopped the bloodline. Because that means it's not out that bloodline no more.
Hold up. And this right here to go even further. Give me 2 Samuel chapter 7. Hold your precept. 2 Samuel chapter 7 and verse 12 right quick.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
And this is the Most High talking to King David on how he gonna establish his kingdom. Read that up.
The book of 2 Samuel, chapter 7, verse 12. And when the days be fulfilled,
he said, when he's come to the end of his life, he's about to die,
and thou shalt sleep with thy father.
And after you sleep with your father, read.
I will set up thy seed after thee.
He's gonna set up his seed after thee, read.
Which shall proceed out of thy bowels.
That's out of the sperm or out of the seed, read.
And I will establish his kingdom.
Read on.
He shall build an house.
That's King Solomon. He built the house, read.
For my name.
And
I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever.
Now, how did he establish his kingdom forever? He only reigned for 40 years.
Exactly.
It came out of his bowels, out of his seed line. That's all I want to
hear. Because that's a heavy scripture too, man. Because forever is going into Christ. Christ is going to rule forever, man.
That's right.
Forever, man. So that's a good precept. Y'all write these things down, man, because y'all get a lot of crafty Christianites out there, man, and be trying to confound y'all with these things. That's why we read verse 1. The generations, the root word of generations is genius. Christ came out of the lineage, the father, the house of the nation of Israel, out of the tribe of Judah, man.
And just like I'll bring it out, when you read verse 1, the book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David. That's clear cut. Immaculate Conception is clear cut. It said out of the son of David. We just read how he gave the covenant to David out of his bloodline.
And the OT for the Old Testament only Israelites. That's also telling you that it didn't stop right there. It had to keep going on because forever, like he said, Solomon was king for 40 years. David was dead. Now y'all waiting on David to come back. The David he talking about coming back is out of the seed of David, which is Yahweh Shah.
Right.
And guess what? He made his return, and he's coming back again.
Now, if that's still not clear, because we hitting on two fronts at one time, man, because we hear a lot of time with this Immaculate Conception, what we call the deception. Give me Luke chapter 3, verse 22, because it's saying the same thing. Luke, Mark, Matthew, they're going into the same thing. It's just written in different ways, each account of their time with Christ. Read that
The book of St. Luke, chapter 3, verse 22. And the Holy Ghost.
He started 23.
Verse 23. And Jesus himself began to be about 30 years of age, being as was supposed, the son of Joseph.
Read that again, because I know they were those people heads out there, man.
Being as was supposed.
Being prophesied. Read on,
the son of Joseph.
The what?
The son of Joseph.
The son of Joseph. He came out of the sperm of Joseph, as was supposed. Read on,
which was the son of Heli,
Uh-huh.
which was the son of Mathat.
Now it's going the other way. It's going from Christ on down. In Matthew it went up. Read on up.
Which was the son of Levi,
Uh-huh.
which was the son of Malachi, Melchi, which was the son of Janna, which was the son of Joseph,
Uh-huh.
which was the son of Mattathias,
Uh-huh.
which was the son of Amos, which was the son of Nahum, which was the son of Esli, which was the son of Nagi, which was the son of Ma, which was the son of Matthias,
Uh-huh.
which was the son of Simeon,
Go ahead.
which was the son of Joseph, which was the son of Judas, which was the son of
Judah.
Judah.
We gotta make sure we get that right.
Which was the son of Judah,
Uh-huh.
which was the son of Joanna,
Uh-huh.
which was the son of Ressa, which was the son of Zerubbabel,
Uh-huh.
which was the son of Salathiel,
Uh-huh.
which was the son of Neri, which was the son of Melchi, which was the son of Adai, which was the son of Kasam, which was the son of Elodam, Elmodam, which was the son of Er, which was the son of Joseph, which was the son of Eleazar, which was the son of Jorim, which was the son of Methat, which was the son of Levi, which was the son of Simeon, which was the son of Judah, which was the son of Joseph, which was the son of Jonan, which was the son of Eliakim, which was the son of Mela, which was the son of Menon, which was the son of Mathiah, which was the son of Nathan, which was the son of David, which was the son of Jesse, which was the son of Obed, which was the son of Boaz, which was the son of Salmon, which was the son of Nason, which was the son of Aminadab, which was the son of Aaron, which was the son of Esron, which was the son of Phares, which was the son of Judah, which was the son of Jacob, which was the son of Isaac, which was the son of Abraham, which was the son of Thara, which was the son of Nakor, which was the son of Saruk, which was the son of Ragai, which was the son of Phalek, which was the son of Heber,
where Hebrew comes from,
which was the son of Salah,
was the son of who?
Salah, which was the son of Canaan, which was the son of Arphax, which was the son of Shem,
Read on.
which was the son of Noah, which was the son of Lamech, which was the son of Methuselah, which was the son of Enoch, which was the son of Jared, which was the son of Malili, which was the son of Canaan, which was the son of Enoch, which was the son of Seth, which was the son of Adam.
Read on. This is the last part.
Which was the son of God.
These were the specific lineage, the sons of God, like we bring out. The sons of God, the sons of men, then we have the sons of the wicked. The Israelite lineage comes through the sons of God, man. That's who we are. That's who we be, man, today. That's why we have to just read through this real quick to kill two birds with one stone with that immaculate deception real quick. Now let's go to Romans 11:1. Because Paul was letting us know exactly, because a lot of times we got this misconception that the Israelites are no more on the planet Earth, man. You know, and that all the people that's in the Bible are not around today. Let's see what Paul said about that. Yeah, Romans 11:1.
The book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 1. I say then, has God cast away his people?
So Paul is asking that God cast away his people. Read on.
God forbid.
That's hell no again. Read on.
For I also am an Israelite.
Paul was letting them know that he is an Israelite. Read on.
Of the seed of Abraham. Of the tribe of Benjamin.
Of the tribe of what?
But of the tribe of Benjamin.
And Isaiah was, he was pulling this exactly from Isaiah. Give me Isaiah 41:9. So precept must be upon precept. Give me that, because a lot of times they love to say that the Israelites are no more. And that's how they try to bring being a spiritual Israelite. When in fact, they really playing deception, trying to bring everybody, all nations and kindreds into what the Most High had given us.
Read that.
Isaiah 41, verse 9.
Go to verse 8.
Verse 8. But thou, Israel, art my servant.
Art my what?
Art my
I'm
servant.
glad I pulled that because we are the servants of the Most High God. Everybody is not a servant of God, man. Y'all write that down. Read on.
Jacob, whom I have chosen.
Read that again up.
Jacob, whom I have chosen.
Jacob, name was changed to Israel. Read on up.
The seed of Abraham, my friend.
His what?
My friend.
His friend. Read on up.
Verse 9. Thou whom I have taken from the ends of the earth.
Read on.
And called thee from the chief men thereof.
He called us from the chief men thereof. Read on up.
And said unto thee, thou art my servant. I have chosen thee.
He is what?
I have chosen
Read
thee.
on up.
And not cast thee away.
Even during that time, all the way up until Paul's time, we have not been casted away. Matter of fact, we're going to bring it up to today. Give me Ecclesiastes 4:16. That touched on the past, and now we're going to touch on the present, man. The past, and now the present. Let's see what the Most High God says about this, man. It's all people done away with, man. Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 16.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 16. There is no end of all the people, even
Wait a minute. The Israelites. Read that again.
There is no end of all the people.
So people, man, it's no end of all the people, man. Read on now.
Even of all that have been before thee.
Read that again now.
Even of all that have been before thee.
Because common sense will tell you, if there was an end, guess what? How would you be here today, man? You know, a lot of times we got to learn to start putting this together too. Read on now.
They also that come after shall not rejoice in him.
Guess what? The people that come after, they ain't rejoicing in Christ. They ain't rejoicing in keeping these laws, man. Read on now.
Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit.
King Solomon's giving us a little insight onto that. The people that was keeping God's laws in the past, guess what? They keeping them today now. And the ones that wasn't, guess what? Today, those same spirits is back on the earth, not keeping his laws today, man. Being rebellious against this truth. Give me Romans chapter 9. You know, this is my favorite chapter, man. Romans 9 and 4, man.
And that's one thing that Paul is addressing. While they keep on trying to use Paul writings, Paul, through this whole thing, I don't understand how they skip all it. This is only talking to the Israelites. Paul is addressing the Israelites all the time. Sometimes he had to come across the Pharisees who didn't have things right, just like Yahushua had to come across the Pharisees. But everything he was trying to do was do business to get my letters over to the Israelites.
And the thing is, I brought up a good point. We were talking the other day. I brought up a good point. I mean, Paul was teaching. What was Paul teaching out of? He was teaching out of the Old Testament. He was teaching out of the laws of Israel.
Exactly.
Man. He wasn't teaching out of nothing else but the law.
Exactly.
He didn't just come up and make up some stuff. He was teaching out of this book.
If he was going to be teaching everybody, he would have been teaching the laws of the Romans, which he knew very well too.
Exactly.
But no, he was teaching that before he came into this. He was teaching the laws of the Romans and what the Pharisees' laws were.
That's right.
After he went back and started teaching the real laws of the Most High, the ones that matter, the real laws, not the ones the Pharisees made up. That's why the Pharisees ready to kill it. Sadducees ready to kill it. Well, hold on. Because he went and started teaching the real laws.
And that's a pivotal point that we got to also start stressing that more and more. We done brought it up. We got to come. The New Testament wasn't written when they was walking the planet Earth, man. When Christ was walking, even though we knew he knew the scriptures because he endowed with all knowledge and understanding. But Paul, them, Mark, Matthew, Luke, John, come on, man. It wasn't written. So they was quoting from the Old Testament, man.
So when Yahushua was saying, for it is written, he didn't go to no Romans. He didn't go to no Galatians. He didn't go to no 1 John. He went where it was written already, back in the Old Testament.
That's right. Give me Romans 9 and 4, man. We'll get to the point. Yeah, you can start there.
Book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 3. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren.
Praise God. Brother in the spirit, read that.
My kinsmen.
My who?
My kinsmen.
Read on.
According to the flesh.
My family according to blood. That's my kinfolk. That's what Paul is saying. Read on.
Who are Israelites.
So what he is addressing is to the Israelites, man. Read on.
To whom pertaineth the adoption.
The word pertaineth means belonging. So the adoption of Christ down on the cross belonged to the Israelites. Read on.
And the glory
of the kingdom belonged to the Israelites. Read on.
And the covenant.
The old covenant and the new covenant belonged to the Israelites. Read on.
And the giving of the law.
We know that the law was given only to the Israelites. Read on.
And the service of God.
The service of God was given to the Israelites, the Levites. Read on.
And the promises.
And the promises of the kingdom belongs to the Israelites. Read on up.
Whose are the fathers.
Uh-huh.
And of whom, as concerning the flesh, Christ came.
Now, a lot of times that runs over people's head, that last part. But guess what? That's letting you know Christ died on that cross. Read that again, huh?
Whose are the fathers, and of whom is as concerning the flesh Christ came.
Christ came and died for the Israelites only, man. That's clear and cut. Read on, huh?
Who is over all. God bless forever. Amen.
Jump down to verse 6.
Not as though the word of God has taken none effect.
Because a lot of times we read this Bible, guess what? This Bible is playing out right in living time. A lot of times people just don't understand it. Read on.
For they are not all Israel, which are of Israel.
Because we deal with a lot of Israelites that's not really of Israel because they don't want to keep the commandments.
It ain't even, and then not only that, it's just, it's actually talking about like Herod was considered an Israelite, which he wasn't.
Yeah, he was a convert.
It was all converts, the fake Jews. As far as the Israelites now, they are Israelites by bloodline. You know, but it's a separation also because of the fact that some of them don't keep the commandments.
Yeah.
But they are bloodline by Israelites. So a lot of times, I know a lot of people get that little bitty thing confused.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people love to attack our own people with this scripture. They not all Israel of Israel. That's not what they're saying. Because at this time, we had a lot of people converting to the religion. A lot of people seen us doing these things, seen us doing our thing, and they seen it was good. A lot of them took on because they got things in order. Why are they so? That's what you think the Islam, the Muslims did.
Right.
They seen us in order. They took that religion. What do you think this so-called white man? Why they always, because we was always a separate, better looking people. We did things different. So everybody wanted to bite. And that's what it was. A lot of them was Israel. They saying not all the men in Israel of Israel.
Read verse 6 again.
Verse 6. Not as though the word of God has taken none effect, for they are not all Israel, which are of Israel.
Read on, huh?
Neither, because they are the seed of Abraham, and are they all children?
Because out of Abraham came many nations.
Yeah.
The Ishmaelites, the Arabs, guess what? The so-called white people, guess what? But the Most High God makes a difference. Read on.
And he had what 6 or 8 more children after Ishmael.
The Midianites,
after Isaac.
Bees, they come up out of Abraham. Read on. Huh?
Are they all children? But in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
Right there, it's a distinction. I mean, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. Read on up.
That is, they which are the children of the flesh.
They which are the children of the flesh. Read on up.
These are not the children of God.
The so-called Chinese, because they come out of that line of Shem. The Chinese, the Moabites, the Caucasians, the Ishmaelites, the Midianites. Read on up.
But the children.
Now read verse 8 again.
That is, they which are the children of the flesh.
Read on up.
They are not the children of God.
These are not.
These are not the children of God.
These are what?
These are not the children of God.
Let's let you know, these people that come out of Abraham, guess what? Just because they come out of there don't mean that they are all God's chosen people, man. They are not the children of God, but he gonna clear it up. Read on, huh?
But the children of the promise are counted for the seed.
The children of the promise is counted as God lineage, like how we read in Luke chapter 3, verse 22. Those were the sons of God that God gave his covenants to and the promises to. So not every child is a child of God, man. We constantly heard that out there, man, because God made all people. He loved everybody. No, God has favorites. He has a favorite people, man. Go ahead, Doc. You got something?
Nah, you said it. You hit it right on the hour.
Give me Baruch chapter 2, verse 30 real quick.
And see, That's the reason why it said for this is the word of for this is the word of promise. Well, no, verse 8. He said, but the children of the promise are accounted for the seed. So that's why when you drop down to verse 9 and 13 on this same verse, that's why I say Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
Exactly.
So that would give the content in it. Yeah.
Give me Baruch.
And that's not only that, I'm glad you brought that up because that's exactly what was going on at the same time. You had Edomites trying to convert, these Romans trying to convert to be up. And the Most High was having to tell them. And they said, hey, because Jacob have I loved, Esau have hated, King Herod have I hated, but the children of Israel, I love them. But King Herod have I hated, and all his descendants, the Edomites. That's the same. This is what this talking about. You got to get to who was in leadership. Who was the one converting at this time? The Edomites of Rome. The Edomites that were coming around, going into Rome, citizens of Rome, who was coming in, who was trying to convert to be what's like. Because it's like, I'm gonna show you. Because like when you go in, they have elections, whatnot. You know, let me show you what some of these countries were doing. When they have elections, like let's say this county right here. The dude, somebody might can't win over there in this county because somebody been over there winning all this time. So, but what he does do is register in this county and he run for office out of this county. You see what I'm saying? But he's not of that county, but he runs for office. Why? Because he can get more, he can get promoted in that county more, he can get more support over there in that county. Same way Herod. See, a lot of times people wanted to get in there, well, I want to be appointed over Israel. And that's what they were. Herod wasn't over, Caesar was over Rome. He was just giving like, you be over them over there. And that was us. So when they were over us, they converted. Man, hold on, they must do a lot of gold. I like what they're doing right here. But that's all I need on that. But y'all got to go look at the history on this stuff and what's really going on at these times, man. Same thing that's going on today, really. Yahweh and them lived in it. Man, I promise, everything that we were going through, that's what it was like just today. But we can't see it like that because we look at everything ancient and old, you know, all this stuff the same.
Give me Baruch chapter 2 and verse 30.
The book of Baruch, out of the Apocrypha, chapter 2, verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people.
No matter how many times we tell our people that they the Israelites, guess what? They are stiff-necked people. They want to bring the other nations in to what they have. Read on up.
But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves.
Read that again.
But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves.
That's what we sent out there. We out there to make our people remember who they are in the land of our captivity. Because believe it or not, we are still captives this day. If you free our people, you send them back to their homeland, man. We have to understand we are still captive here. They may have took the leash off and let us run around in the backyard, but what? We still in their vicinity, man. That's it. Read on up.
31. And shall know that I am the Lord, their God.
Their what?
Their God.
Because Baruch was the scribe of Jeremiah, according to Jeremiah 45 and 1. Read on up. We'll get there real quick.
For I will give them an heart and ears to hear. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name.
And do what?
And think upon my name.
Because we praising the Most High God this day. We praising him by celebrating his Sabbath on the day that he commanded us to. Read on up.
And return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds.
We telling our people to return to the Most High God and put off the sin. That's wicked deeds. Read on up.
For they shall remember the way of their fathers.
And that's what we're doing now. We remember to keep the Feast of Dedication, to keep the Passover, to wear our fringes, not to eat abominable foods. We remember the way of our fathers. Read on.
Which sinned before the Lord. And verse 34. And I will bring them again unto the land which I promised.
Which he what?
Which I promised.
He gonna give us the kingdom. Read on up.
With an oath.
With an what?
With an oath.
Like I was breaking that in Sirach. Read on up.
With an oath unto their fathers.
Unto their what?
Unto their fathers.
Unto their descendants. Read on.
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And they shall be lords of it.
And they shall be what?
Lords of it.
Read on.
And I will increase them.
As the stars of the sea.
And I will increase them.
Read on.
And they shall not be diminished.
And we shall not be what?
Diminished.
Read on.
Verse 35. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them.
Read that again.
And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their God.
To be their what?
To be their God.
Read on.
And they shall be my people.
And they shall be what?
My people.
The Israelites are God's chosen people, man. It's an everlasting covenant that never ends. Read on.
And I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them.
That he have what?
That I have given them.
Let me say something. A lot of times, we've been involved to a lot of camps. A lot of people always trying their best to find we got to build. The Bible, he said in the captivity, we'll be praising him and going back, praising him, doing what he asked us to do as far as obeying his law, statutes, commandments. This ain't a land for us to be building in. He gonna burn it. You know, so why in the world? He said, I'm gonna take y'all back to your house. That's where you build at. See, but we got everybody out. I gotta get this and I gotta go do this and we gonna be doing this. Do all that for what? Because what? They're gonna burn it. He told us to praise him when we're in our captivity, not build in our captivity.
Give me Revelations 22 and 18. Get this last precept in.
The book of Revelations, chapter 22, verse 18. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy
of the prophecy
of this book. If any man shall add unto these things.
Read that again.
If any man shall add unto these things.
Spiritual Israelite.
If any man shall add unto these things.
Read on now.
God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book.
So when you trying to interject spiritual Israelites into this book, guess what? The Most High God gonna add plagues unto you, man. So that's a warning. Read on.
Verse 19. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy.
Or if you taken away words of the book of this prophecy, read on out.
God shall take away his part out of the book of life.
He shall do what?
Take away the part out of the book of life.
And that's really a shot at the Edomites for taking out their apocrypha, man. Read on out.
And for the ones who agree, that's in Christianity, that agree that this supposed that ain't a spiritually inspired book. Who's y'all take it out? Who is y'all to say that? Exactly. And for those Israelites that agree that it's okay for them to take that out, you going against God straight personally, right against that.
Exactly, man. There's also precepts with what we read earlier, Proverbs 30 and 6. So y'all write that down. Read that for the top part.
Verse 19. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy,
like they did in the 1400s, read on.
God shall take away his part out of the book of life.
That's why they ain't gonna get no kingdom, man. 1,000 years of slavery, then they're gonna be burned off the planet, man. Read on.
And out of the holy city.
And out of the what?
And out of the holy city.
Jerusalem. Read on.
And from the things which are written in this book.
And from the things that are written in this book, that's immortality, man. And with that, we say shalom.
He's gonna break out the law.
Just laws out of the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 15. Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment.
Read that again.
Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment.
It's very, matter of fact, you give me Sirach 11 and 7. Read that one more time.
Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment.
We're commanded not to do no unrighteousness in judgment. The Most High God gives us the instructions on how we judge. Read that out.
The book of Sirach, chapter 11, verse 7. Blame not before thou hast examined the truth.
Read that again.
Blame not before thou hast examined the truth.
In order to make a righteous judgment, guess what? You got to get the whole truth first, man. Read on.
Understand first.
You have to get it first, then understand it. Read on.
And then rebuke.
Then correct the brother. But you don't correct it unless you know the whole matter, because guess what? We might make a mistake. Read that again, Jeremiah.
Thou shalt do.
Oh, go ahead.
Verse 8, chapter 8, verse 8. Answer not before thou hast heard the cause. Neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk.
So you also don't interrupt a man in the midst of his talk. Go ahead.
Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty.
Of the what?
Of the mighty.
Because guess what? When brothers in higher position, they can be off too, man. You got to respect that, man. That brother is saying something that you don't see in the scriptures, man. Guess what? If it's a righteous judgment, you go through it and correctly and understand it, then guess what? You got to bring that down too. It's no respect of persons within the Bible, whether you're a man of high or a man on low. Read on up.
But in righteousness shalt thou judge, Shalaki. But in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor.
Oh, praise.
And that's how he got the right to debate his cause.
Exactly. Like we tell brothers and sisters, share the page, man. Help us push this truth to the four corners of the earth. Go to our GoFundMe page. Help donate to this cause so we can get to some of those cities that y'all at, man. And with that, we say shalom.
Shalom.